Hey, what's up guys? Today we're doing a 1 week review of the new G Pro X Superlight 2, and I gotta say I am freaking in love with this mouse and I absolutely love it, but it's not perfect. So let's go over some of the details. So first of all, the performance and precision of this mouse is absolutely outstanding and is exactly what I would expect for an expensive high-end gaming mouse, especially from Logitech. Coming from the Razer Viper V2 Pro, which has one of the, if not the best sensors in the gaming market right now, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to feel a difference in terms of precision and accuracy and scores on aim labs, for example, and there's no difference that I can tell. But there is a big difference for me personally in performance, specifically because of the shape itself. The Viper V2 Pro, the angle on the hump here is so gentle that it literally slips under my hand when I try to claw grip it. And then the GPX2 here, the hump is so much more angled and more aggressive that when I claw grip it, it actually stops right there against my palm. So the stability for me is greatly improved, and that was the big reason why I switched. And I think that's an important note to make if you are trying to decide between these two mice, that they're both outstanding gaming mice. I absolutely love this mouse. My only complaint, like I said, was that hump. So if you are trying to get more palm contact or trying to push it against your palm, I would definitely recommend the GPX2. Otherwise, the V2 Pro is a great gaming mouse, especially if you want something a little bit flatter or if you fingertip grip it. This is a great mouse too. So performance has been outstanding. I've already beaten one of my previous all-time high scores on aim labs, and all my other scores are either right behind or pretty much matched with my previous score. So I figure it's only going to take a little bit of time of getting used to the new mouse before I surpass hopefully all my scores. Mouse clicks are freaking fantastic. I love these. I know some people are getting issues of it being tougher to click. These are the newer Logitech Lightforce clicks, and maybe I just got lucky on my batch. I'm not too sure, but these clicks for me, they're very, very snappy. Let me try to show you guys in detail. There's a little pre-travel right there, and then click. And then after that, there's like no post travel. Like that's as far as it's pushing down. I can't push down any further, even though you see that gap. That feels super, super nice. And it's very spammable and it's very solid. And I can't see this having any double click issues, which I know was a problem with the first version. And it's just so locked in and so solid that I'm very happy. Compared to the Viper V2 Pro here, there's a lot of pre-travel, and then the post-travel is just horrendous. That feels horrible. Just really, really, really bad. So yeah, I absolutely love these clicks. Maybe I got lucky on my batch, but they don't feel heavy to me at all, especially after breaking in for a week. They're fantastic. These are probably some of my favorite mouse clicks I've ever had, with the exception of my Air 58, which is something I personally modded, and I don't think this will ever exist. That's it. That's all. And it's so quiet too. I love it. But I gotta say too, this mouse is not perfect and there are a few issues you definitely need to be aware of. And some of them were kind of disappointing, especially how expensive this mouse is. The first one is going to be the mouse wheel and the side clicks. These side clicks are super mushy. And from what I've read and from what I've heard, they're exactly the same as the original GPX. And so I want to try to show you guys. We have a little pre-travel right there, if you see that, which is before the click, and then the click itself right there, and then all that extra post-travel. See how mushy that is? And the click is so soft and so gentle and quiet, especially with headphones on, that the trouble I'm having is when I was trying to use side buttons, I hold the mouse something like this, and so I'm pressing it at the side of my thumb. And I've done it multiple times in game where I press down on it and I'm just not sure that I actually activated the button, and so I'll press it again because I don't have that certainty, and that will mess up the fight, and I've lost a couple fights because it's just so uncertain, and it's been frustrating. And then the even more frustrating part has been this mouse wheel. This mouse wheel activates forward and back way too freaking easily. Mouse 3 is when you click down on the mouse wheel, and you can't hear it because there's not an actual click, but you can feel it, which is nice. But the problem is I would click down on it, which would be fine like 90% of the time, but the other 10% would accidentally scroll up or accidentally scroll down, and then I get killed because I'm accidentally throwing a grenade that I didn't mean to throw or something like that. This is really bad. This one is one of the worst. I feel like this is still usable if I got used to it and I just press hard and like I know it's there, but this is like an accidental thing that I don't know if there's any way to fix it. So that's been probably one of the biggest problems that I don't know how they overlook that. It's just so easy compared to like the Viper V2 Pro. This is also flatter on the mouse wheel here, so it's less likely that I'm going to click or scroll forward, but then it's also harder to scroll forward and back. Not like a lot more, but enough to notice. So those two are probably the biggest complaints about the mouse itself. You also might have noticed that there's different grips that you see here. This is the Pulsar Super Grips. And so originally the mouse came with side grips, mouse clicks, and the other side grip here. And the grips that it came with was actually nice. For stock grips included with the mouse, they were very usable and I did enjoy it. The issue I had was it didn't come with grips for the palm, which many mice don't. I don't know why, because I like having contact on the palm. So I picked up this Pulsar Super Grip, first time trying something like this, and holy crap, this stuff is amazing. It is magic. It is sticky. The other thing I've been playing around with too is playing with and without the puck. Long story short, I have consistently better scores on aim labs when I'm playing without the puck. Not by a lot, but it is there regardless. So for the time being, I'm going to be playing without this puck. This puck is extremely lightweight. It weighs, I believe, about 1.5 grams. I think a little bit more than that. But I can't tell the weight difference with or without it for the life of me. What I think the difference is the extra surface to surface contact pushing against the mouse pad, that it does feel like it's a little bit lower sensitivity with the puck in and a little bit higher with it out, which makes sense. So I think that also goes for showing that, you know, a lot of people are obsessed with making the mouse as light as possible and minimizing the surface contact too. So I'm definitely a fan of it without the puck, but that could also be a very personal thing. The other major issue that I have was the software. The software that came with this mouse is just a complete nightmare. And unfortunately, if you want to get the best settings for this mouse and the lowest latency possible, you have to use Logitech's G Hub software, at least at first, to set it up properly. And then you can use their second software called Onboard Memory Manager. That's a little bit more simplified, but the Logitech G Hub is just a nightmare. And I'm not going to go into greater detail. I made a full video on that if you guys want to check that out. And hopefully that helps, because it was just so frustrating. So besides those three major issues of the side buttons being too mushy, the mouse wheel being too easy, and the nightmare of the software, this mouse for me personally was absolutely worth the money. I did not have the first GPX1, so I didn't upgrade. So being that I never owned one, I didn't mind spending the little extra money for the 2K hertz and the newer sensor. If you do have the original GPX1, it's going to be a tough call if it's worth it to upgrade for you, because the shape is exactly the same and the internal upgrades are minimal at best. If you have the money, yeah, you know, the 2K hertz is definitely going to be nice, but if you're happy with the GPX1, I don't think it's necessarily super important to upgrade if your mouse is still working fine. So yeah, just a heads up on some of those issues. It's not perfect, but this mouse is absolutely outstanding. It's just wonderful that when I'm playing, I can have a super locked in grip, especially with the super grips here, that just stays consistent all night long, even over long gaming sessions, which was one of the big problems I had with the V2 Pro. My grip would start one way, and then literally at the end of the night, it would end up like that, something like that, which once again, that's a personal issue. Nothing wrong with this mouse if it works well for you. Oh, I forgot to mention the USB-C port, which is long overdue, but it's there. I am so freaking happy with this mouse, even though it's not perfect for what I want it to do and what I need it to do, which is aim. It is beautiful, just beautiful. So I hope this helps, guys, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care.